Eiken. This 2003 anime can only be described as diabolical. It takes the already controversial trope of fan service and dials it up to 1000%, and it really makes you wonder what in the hell was in the waters of Japan back then? Because oh my god, after watching this trash, I feel like I'm on some kind of government watch list now. This anime does have a story to follow, you know, the typical loser boy is forced into a quirky situation with many different girls around him and ends up winning the affection of the most popular girl who is wanted by everyone, or whatever the hell. But none of it really matters because the true focus of this anime is the absolutely egregious design choices that I really don't even want to call fan service, because truly there is absolutely nothing to be a fan of in this anime. This show is going to be really hard to talk about without getting obliterated by YouTube policies and whatnot, so I'm gonna have to really beat around the bush when I describe a lot of this stuff. And truth to be told, I don't even want to describe a lot of the stuff that happens in the show anyways, because it involves some really nasty design choices by the artists who seem to have drawn this anime using only a singular hand. Hello everyone, my name is Leo Hashi, and today I watched Eiken so that you don't have to. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to watch me slowly but surely lose my mind. And a huge shout out to my channel members. I always appreciate your support, and if anyone is interested, make sure to check out my memberships. It helps out a lot. Eiken is a 2003 comedy edgy anime OVA that's actually quite short. It's a 2-episode mini-series that follows a schoolboy named Densuke Mifune who is forced to join the mysterious Eiken Club, and some crazy and quirky hijinks ensue. And by crazy and quirky hijinks, I mean literally every 2 seconds there is another gross visual of very young girls being overtly in ways that can only be described as criminal. Somehow, this short 2-episode miniseries made me roll my eyes and question humanity way more than anything else I've watched on this channel, which is saying a lot. And in fact, I can easily say that this anime sucks major ass, and I absolutely hate the entire concept of this show. The only good part about this anime is that it's so short, so I didn't have to continue losing my faith in humanity, as I kept having nasty ass panty shots or bouncing animations that literally destroy the laws of physics as we know it, shoved down my gullet like an annoying salesman who just won't leave you the f alone without buying their useless product. Before I dive into the story of this disgusting show for you guys, I want to establish something right here, right now, okay? This anime is nasty as hell. It takes place in a school that contains an elementary, middle, and high school all at once, meaning that literally every single character in this show is a minor, and some of them very, very young. Despite that, the anime overtly sexualizes these girls in a lot of really awful and terrible ways that I don't even really want to put into words. And to the creators of the show, it doesn't matter if someone is in elementary school or high school, they will go through the same treatment nonetheless, which is a sentence that I wish I never had to say in my life, but here we are. No joke, there is some kind of ridiculous design choice or innuendo like every 2 seconds, and this anime also takes concepts like sexual assault and trivializes it into a joke, even though there really isn't anything to laugh about or funny about it. And this entire concept is something that I just absolutely hate from the bottom of my heart. It's hard to put into words how disgusting I find this anime, and honestly I will judge anyone who does actually enjoy this show. Just to make explaining this show a little easier for myself, let me just tell you a few general rules about this anime. Rule number 1: if something is going to bounce, then it will bounce, and it will bounce and quake and quiver in such an over-exaggerated way that it's like watching LeBron James bounce a basketball up and down while playing in the most intense NBA game. I don't really watch basketball, so I don't know if that describes it well, but I think everyone here knows exactly what I'm talking about. Rule number 2: every time a character falls, which happens so much in this show that it almost feels like gravity is just doing this shit on purpose, you will, without fail, get some kind of egregious undershot of the person that just fell. This character will also then somehow lose their clothing in a way that reveals their bodies, even if it just doesn't make sense no matter how much you try to calculate the physics of how these clothing are moving. Rule number 3: if a girl trips and falls around the main character, somehow, miraculously, the main character will always end up in these ridiculous positions that can only be described as a how the f does that even happen kind of miracle. There's a lot more insane and stupid shit that happens in this show, but those 3 rules are something to keep in mind as I describe the show, because they just happen over and over and over and over again. Oh my god, dude. I'm so over this stupid garbage. But before I dive into the story of Eiken, let me tell you about something not diabolical, but actually good. Japanese snacks. This video is sponsored by Tokyo Tree and Sakurako. Tokyo Tree is a fun and exclusive monthly snack box packed with Japan's coolest and craziest treats. Each month you'll get a rare Kit Kat flavor, limited edition chips, and the latest treats from Japan straight to you. Sakurako is a monthly Japanese artisan snack box that supports local makers across Japan. Each box is carefully curated with traditional and seasonal snacks like mochi, dorayaki, manju, and more, including signature Japanese teas and an exclusive homeware item. It's time! First, let's check out what's in this upcoming month's Tokyo Treat box. Every month, Tokyo Treat has a different theme. This upcoming month's theme is Summer Matsuri Snack Fest. Obviously, Matsuri means festival, so it's about a summer festival. And this is the information booklet that comes with a bunch of information about the culture, as well as the snacks. And of course, they all have the allergy information if you need that. This box has chocolate orange Kit Kats, mini sugar donuts, orange bar gum, don yaki cracker, ramune gummies, honey fried rice crackers, soy sauce corn puffs, edamame bites, shaved ice jelly, strawberry cotton candy, DIY candy apple, eggplant miso soup, strawberry jelly marshmallow, chocolate cream wafer roll, octopus cheese sandwich cracker. Now it's time to try the foods, which is my favorite part of this. First, I want to try the Kit Kats. It's got a perfect balance of the chocolate and the orange, you know what I'm saying? I give this 2 thumbs up. Next, I want to try the soy sauce corn puffs. Ooh. Nah, it's good, man. Obviously, you got the corn puff flavor going on, but it's got that soy sauce flavor going on as well. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I have to try the shaved ice jelly. There's like different flavors too. It's like not overwhelmingly sweet. It's like a perfect sweetness. This is a big W. Bussin'! Anyway, next up, I want to move on to the Sakurako box of the month. What? So this upcoming month's Sakurako theme is Journey to Okinawa. This month's Sakurako box has Sanpin tea, which is supposed to be a type of jasmine tea, Shinsuko, which is a type of sweet, mango jelly, mango agar candy, Okinawa almond caramel cookie, purple potato pie, honey plum, black pepper cheese kaki no tane, gorgonzola noriten, Hokuto almond mix, Okinawa baked chocolate, Hokuto karinto, Hokuto cinnamon peanuts. Every month, Sakurako comes with a traditional Japanese item. I got the Minamikaze bowl, which is a very beautiful bowl. The design is inspired by the sea breeze. And apparently you can also potentially get a teacup. I think it's supposed to be a 50-50, like the gacha games I play. But yeah, I got the bowl. It's very pretty and I'm definitely gonna be using it. All right, now it's time to sample some of these Sakurako snacks. I'm curious about this mango candy. This looks insane. Oh god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It's like made from actual mango puree. So it's like got that authentic mango taste. Oh my god, mwah, mwah, mwah. Next, I'm gonna try the noriten, which is the seaweed snack. Oh, that's really good. Oh my god. I admit that I was a little intimidated by this because I'm not the biggest fan of cheese, but oh my god, this is beautiful. I also tried the Sanpin tea. It was like jasmine tea. Apparently it's made from fermented leaves, so it gives a little bit of a different punch to it. If you're a tea lover, I can't see why you wouldn't enjoy this. Yum! But anyways, that's it for next month's Tokyo Treat and Sakurako boxes. If you want to buy one for yourself or buy it as a gift for a loved one, make sure to click the link in the description below and use code LEOHASHI at checkout to get $5 off of your first order of Tokyo Treat or Sakurako. Thank you once again to Tokyo Treat and Sakurako for sponsoring this video, and now it's time to move on to the main video, shall we? Anyways, let's jump into the diabolical world of Eiken, shall we? The show begins with a shot of a banana peel, which might as well be this show's mascot because for some fucking reason, there are banana peels everywhere in this show. On the street, in the school hallways, in your room, under your bed, up my ass, wherever you might think there is a banana peel. Why? Because these bananas are supposed to be an innuendo for penis. Anyways, we're introduced to the Zashono Academy, a massive school with a total of 54,000 students. It has an elementary school, a middle school, and high school all in one, which to me just sounds like a recipe for disaster, but anyway. We're also introduced to the main character, a young schoolboy named Densuke Mifune, who tells us that he's here because he felt like enrolling here, and there's no other reason really. We're literally 30 seconds into the show, and it's already very clear that there will be a lot of nasty-ass character designs and animation choices based on the many body parts that are just shaking and quaking on the screen. It's everywhere. A girl bumps into Densuke and slips on the banana peel from the beginning, and Densuke immediately just gets a whole view of this girl's undergarments, and then somehow manages to fall on top of her and does the famous anime thing where he accidentally grabs certain parts of her body, you know. And as this happens, a large crowd of students surround them and stare as 2 random dudes just point and scream at him like, "Yo, that's that really smart and popular girl. How How dare you grab her like that, Densuke? Oh my god! Suddenly, a girl flies in with a robot? What? And I guess gravity just said peace out because the quaking and shaking of certain body parts are just turned up to 1,000,000. And I'm honestly questioning if I can't even show this shit on YouTube. I genuinely don't think I can show like 90% of this shit because this kind of detail just happens in pretty much every other frame of this, okay? Anyway, this girl with purple hair just says, "Congratulations, Densuke! You're accepted to our club!" Suddenly, Densuke is forced to sign some sort of contract as this mysterious purple-haired girl tells him, "Congrats! You are dull and submissive, and you are now part of our club." Why? Well, that's because you squeezed a particular pair of melons or some stupid shit, okay? Like, what is this garbage? And of course, she's also got the exact measurements, like some kind of disgusting encyclopedia of body parts and measurements. Anyways, this is how Densuke is welcomed into the Eiken Club. Now, let's pause for a second to ask an important question. What the hell is the Eiken Club anyways? You see, Eiken is a series of English proficiency tests developed by the Eiken Foundation of Japan. It's a test that's widely used in Japan that assesses a person's English reading, writing, listening, and speaking skills. So you might expect Densuke to be joining a club that maybe focuses on learning the English language and practicing it in conversation or something like that, right? Unfortunately though, this club has absolutely nothing to do with the English proficiency test and seems more like a place to just waste your time and do absolutely nothing. The Wikipedia page for Eiken explains this better than I can. Quote, "Strangely enough, every other member is a busty co-ed and many of the club's activities involve bikinis." End quote. Yep, so basically we know nothing about the Eiken Club, nor do I want to know any more than we already do because this is so fucking stupid. Anyways, we hear Densuke and another girl performing some sort of ritual, but of course, because this is Eiken, it has to turn this into some sort of sexual joke. So we only see the sky for a few seconds and we just hear Densuke talking like, "Take it easy, okay? It's my first time." And it's obviously like something else is going on, but you know, the creators thought it was hilarious that every little encounter is turned sexual in some way. I'm so tired already. I don't even think a gooner can enjoy this garbage, dude. Real talk. I think sexual jokes are funny to a certain extent, but like there is too much to this. Densuke is being approached by a girl on all fours who goes in to seemingly kiss him, only to turn out that he's just trying to hand her a rose with his mouth or something. Apparently, this is supposed to be a fortune-telling ritual of some kind, performed by the girl for Densuke. She tells him, "An opposing figure will come into your life and take something important away from you." And this whole time, you might think that this girl is allergic to actually wearing any pants, but you'll come to realize that she's not the only one that seems to suffer from this condition of pants phobia or whatever the hell. It's just literally everybody in this show. Before we move on, let me give you a brief rundown of the members of the Eiken Club, so this shit doesn't get confusing as hell. Densuke, of course, is the main character, who I guess is supposed to be your generic self-insert character with absolutely no defining personality traits or anything interesting going for him, except he somehow has the ability to defy the laws of physics in mysterious ways throughout this show that I will never truly understand. Chiharu Shinonome is the girl from the introduction and the main romantic interest of Densuke. She is extremely shy around boys because she came from an all-girls school, and she's well known in the school as she is considered attractive by her peers. Kirika is the purple-haired president of the Eiken Club and an absolute menace to Densuke as she constantly forces him into awkward situations for the fuck of it, and every time she forces herself onto him in what can only be described as assault, but obviously the show doesn't take this seriously whatsoever. Komoe is a clumsy pink-haired girl with certain character design choices that makes me think that someone needs to be locked up behind bars. On God. She is a 6th grader. Let me repeat that. She's a 6th grader. Okay. Whatever. Let's just move on. Grace is a blonde-haired girl who doesn't do much in the show, but she exists and I guess she's able to tell fortunes or some shit. Kyoko is a blue-haired girl who runs the science division of the Eiken Club, whatever that means, because the Eiken Club doesn't seem to do anything else anyways, but whatever. She made the robot and stuff. Yuriko Shinonome is the younger sister of Chiharu who spends her entire existence in the show trying to win Densuke's affections over, even going as far as to basically just harass and assault him constantly throughout the show. The teacher and advisor of the club is a timid green-haired lady who is always sad because literally all of the students and her peers seem to forget that she even exists. Oh, and there's this teddy bear. I don't really know, but yeah. So that's the wonderful and super fun members of the Eiken Club. Wow, I absolutely hate everything. Now we see some kind of flashback to Densuke being invited to the outside of the nurse's office by these two random dudes from the beginning just to end up accidentally peeking into an entire room full of girls without any clothes on, because apparently they were doing some kind of physical checkup day or something. Anyways, of course, Chiharu, the main love interest, is also there, and Densuke gets absolutely lambasted by everyone there. Back to the club room, we see the members interact as they plan a special event called Nagashi Somen, which is a dining experience where cold somen noodles are released into a flowing stream of water, and the diners try to catch them with their chopsticks. What does this have to do with the Eiken Club? Absolutely nothing. We see Kyoko, the researcher, along with the random-ass bear, doing some sort of work on a robot. Komoe tries to reach some kind of cabinet, but of course, being clumsy and short, she's unable to reach it. So Densuke tries to help out, but they're still unable to reach it. Anyways, the teacher is crying and whining about how she's never acknowledged by anyone and no one remembers her name. When Densuke acknowledges her existence, she leaps onto him and hugs him. And Densuke panics like, "Teacher! Oh my gosh! Your breasts!" And I'm like watching this like, this is all just so like, well, what the hell is this? Literally everything feels like a crime, to the point where calling out each individual thing for being gross feels like a waste of time, because this entire show is the crime. As they eat the somen noodles, Kirika, the president, asks Densuke, "How was it?" Densuke is like, "Huh?" And Kirika's like, "You know, Chiharu's raw." Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't even want to say it. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say any of this shit. How do I even talk about this stuff without wanting to projectile vomit all over my screen? Huh? Anyways, Kirika mentions that Chiharu is downstairs and asks him, "Shouldn't you go?" Anyways, Kirika complains that the food isn't that good, and Komoe grates some ginger. And of course, this entire time, they're shaking and quaking frivolously. And of course, the animation really highlights certain parts of certain people. And might I remind you, once again, Komoe is a 6th grader. The more they do this kind of stupid-ass bullshit with Komoe in the show, the more I just absolutely hate the existence of this stupid anime. Like, you just can't be doing this kind of shit to minors. Like, why? Then the teacher slips and falls on a random-ass banana peel in the classroom and crashes into Komoe, and Densuke jumps in to try and catch her. After way too many different angles of different things, they fall and land on top of each other in a way that is just simply too diabolical for me to describe in any amount of detail. What is there to enjoy here? Genuinely, I just don't understand the appeal of any of this. And it's been like 5 minutes into the show? Not even? Like, Jesus Christ. Bro, I feel like I need to be cleansed just from this. Later, Densuke finds Chiharu sitting outside and wonders if she's mad because she's been avoiding him since the intro of the show. She also just doesn't come to the club anymore. He apologizes and tells her, "I did see you naked, I'm sorry." And Chiharu responds that she was unable to face him anymore after being seen like that in front of everyone else. But then she grabs his shirt and says, "I wish it was just the two of us." The two play in the water for a little bit, and she asks him if he's free on Monday because that day is her birthday. Suddenly, Chiharu's sister, Yuriko, leaps onto the screen and attacks Densuke with her crotch. And then she asks him,
"Didn't it feel good to be crushed by my arrows?"
They continue to talk about Chiharu's body for an uncomfortably long amount of time until Yuriko does the anime fan service grabbing shit that happens in every other show as Densuke runs towards them. But guess what? He then falls over another random banana peel that apparently at this point just seems to spawn randomly in this world for no reason whatsoever. As he trips, he looks up to see that Chiharu's undergarments had fallen off. She runs away. Oh my god. And then Kirika, the president, then approaches him and tells him, "Good luck next time." Kirika tells him that he should buy her a birthday present to show off his good side. But Densuke mutters under his breath that he already spent his money on a dead or alive game, which is, you know, a certain type of fighting game. And this makes so much sense, to be honest. Then Kirika says, "Win the games and make the money." We are then introduced to the 58th Zashono Academy Ultra Games, which is an annual competition where students will challenge each other in a bunch of games set up on a path throughout the school campus. And allegedly, according to random sources throughout the campus, there is a cash prize for the winner. Allegedly. And of course, the Eiken Club decides to participate in this competition as well. Game number 1 is bungee jumping. The students are attached to a rope from a very tall building and are literally kicked off and fall down in an extremely terrifying manner. If you manage to grab the flag placed at the bottom, that's how you pass the round. And it looks absolutely terrifying, the way the player just continues to swing up and down even after the round ends. I feel like I might shit my pants and have a heart attack if I ever played something like this. And remember rule number 1 of Eiken: if something is going to bounce, then it will bounce. The worst part about this is that we see Komoe play this game, and the way they draw this is just diabolical. I'm hoping no one is going out of their way to defend this kind of shit. I mean, she does manage to win the game and the Eiken team moves on to the next round, but this is just, it's so gross. I can't even joke about it anymore. We also keep seeing people in this world constantly eat bananas. I wonder why. Oh, and the announcers of this competition are also just as diabolical too. Their outfit is this absolutely insane dress that is 100,000% breaking every kind of school dress code ever. They also have this biological necessity of needing to shake their cheeks like 2 inches away from the camera lens every time they say anything, because they would die if they just didn't shake their cheeks in front of the camera. Like, what the fuck is going on in this Dijon ass school? The second game is a water slide. Teams who safely slide down into the pool at the end pass the round. But if a teammate separates for even just a second, then the team is disqualified. And they made sure to let us know that they are, for some unexplainable reason, running white yogurt into the water slide. It's just not even subtle anymore. Densuke participates in this game with Chiharu, who was basically forced into participating. She tells him that she's terrified of heights, and Densuke tells her, "I'm here, don't worry, I'll protect you." But as she hugs his back in fear, Densuke starts going sicko mode in his imagination, and turns out Yuriko, Chiharu's younger sister, is also participating as she sits right in front of Densuke, takes his hands, and forces him to grab her, asking him, "Am I always your little sister?" Huh? What is happening? Who? What? My brain is shattering. My brain is actually shattering. Honestly, there's just so much stupid shit to criticize this show about that it's just exhausting at this point. Obviously, some of the designs of these characters are absolutely insane, but another thing that's also exhausting is the fact that some of these ladies are always forcing themselves upon Densuke without consent for basically the entire show, and that's not okay. This anime treats literal sexual assault like a quirky little joke and doesn't take it seriously at all, but high-key, it's just gross as hell to me. Why is it that these girls are constantly sexually assaulting Densuke throughout the show, and why is it treated like it's such a casual thing? There's nothing funny about it. Yuriko then says, "I'll make you mine by the end of the game," as the teacher also joins the squad. And of course, as you would expect from Eiken by now, this water slide game is as diabolical as anything else in this show. As the other clubs continue to get eliminated, the Eiken club struggles to hold on and to not let each other go for the sake of the prize money. But of course, this is Eiken, so any logic is thrown out of the window, as somehow Densuke's hands and legs end up in certain insane positions that definitely wouldn't have been possible without getting the team disqualified. And then, get this, his fingers and toes end up in someone else's mouth. And all the while, there are people screaming, "It hurts!" But of course, because they would be disqualified if they let go of each other, they're unable to do anything. I have no words anymore. What is there to even say to this? Anyways, they end up winning the game, but Chiharu is upset at Densuke. She says, "You said you'd protect me," but is upset because of how her clothing was ripped apart by him in the game. How does this even happen? What? I don't know. But anyway, Chiharu then runs away despite her clothing being completely tattered all over. Outside, she is approached by a mysterious blue-haired young man who tells her, "It's been a while, Chiharu. I've returned from America to protect you." Everybody meets Shima Kurosawa, the show's main antagonist, I guess? He's the winner of the last year's Ultra Games, and he's come back from America in order to win the games again, as well as win over Chiharu's heart for himself or something. I guess it's like Gi-hun going back to the Squid Games in season 2. He's like, "Something terrible must have happened to you," to Chiharu, who responds that she has to go back to the others for the game. But then he starts touching her face and does a bunch of yucky stuff. This guy is also just gross. Anyways, the third game takes place at the pool, which means that I will now have to censor like 90% of the screen for the next few minutes. Thanks, Eiken. You're making my life so much better. The game is that you have to walk down to the other end of the pool with a partner while holding a ball without dropping it. However, the twist is that you can't use your hands. So you basically have to sandwich the ball between your faces or your bodies. Out of nowhere, everyone sees a giant airship fly in, as the announcers say that it's last year's winning team. Shima comes out of the airship surrounded by a bunch of maids. For some reason, Densuke is forced to wear a girl's swimsuit, and his partner in this game is Yuriko. And as the two talk, Densuke is approached by Shima, and this was pretty much the only scene that I ended up laughing at, because Shima, while he talks to Densuke, begins to do some warm-up stretches while a whistle blows in the background in a particular rhythm, and the maids also just like do the exact same stretches as him as he's talking. I mean, it's not particularly funny, but I guess I felt like it was because, well, it was like one of the only times a minor wasn't being for the sake of a joke, which is an extremely depressingly low bar. Shima and Densuke talk, and it seems like the two have some kind of history, but we never truly find out anything as the game begins and it's revealed that Shima's partner for this game is none other than Chiharu, who seems very uncomfortable with this arrangement. During the game, it's kind of clear that Chiharu doesn't really feel comfortable, while Shima constantly just keeps telling her,
It's okay, let me handle it.
Shima is winning the competition as he says to Chiharu,
Please bear with me.
as he begins to hug her even more and continues to get closer and closer to her, and this is just extremely uncomfortable to watch the entire time. And I won't describe more after this, but yeah, he gets very touchy with her. Chiharu during this thinks about Densuke and reaches out to him as we see Yuriko's face is literally around Densuke's like, why are we here just to suffer? Anyways, Shima's team ends up winning first and Densuke's team ends up getting second place. After this game, Densuke witnesses Shima apologize to Chiharu for going too far. He's like,
I wanted to cheer you up because you look so sad.
Shima then hugs her and says he just wants to see her smile. And I'm watching this like, oh, okay, so you're cheering her up by literally assaulting her during the game. Okay, that makes sense. However, just as Chiharu is about to respond, Densuke falls over and is found. Shima asks Densuke if he likes her too, but Densuke just looks away. Shima then is like,
Well, you don't mind then if I ask her out, do you?
as Densuke is about to speak up, Kirika, the president, yeah, remember her, interrupts them. She declares a battle, a showdown between Shima and Densuke, saying that whoever wins gets Chiharu. Kirika then tells Shima that if Densuke does win, Shima has to leave the Eiken club completely alone, which is something that will be explained a bit later. Shima accepts this challenge. Later on, Densuke is upset as Yuriko approaches him. Densuke says, I just wanted to buy Chiharu a present for her birthday. Yuriko then tells him the Eiken club is with him, but he's like, but the opponent, he's so different from me. His looks, his athletic ability. But as he sulks, Yuriko just decides to completely remove all of her clothing and hugs him from behind. Except, hello, ma'am? You are literally outside and everyone can see you? What? She's like, Densuke, win the games and make me yours. This isn't okay. Like, this just is not okay. None of this is okay. Meanwhile, as this whole drama unfolds, the fourth game takes place at the seaside. It's a relay obstacle course with 4-person teams. The game begins and the first obstacle is a pool. In the middle of a pool is a bunch of chocolate bananas and you have to keep the banana in your mouth and swim to the next obstacle. Brother, let me out of here. Please let me out of this hell. I want to leave. The second obstacle is to blow up a balloon, and this is too diabolical for me to describe, so I won't. The third obstacle is that they have to swim across a pool on a float, but the twist is that there are eels in the pool. The teacher swims across the pool and makes it out, but then an eel falls out of her swimsuit. Dude, I'm so done. I'm so done. I'm actually done. Please just make this end. Anyways, at the end, Choco, the scientist girl, literally obliterates the competition in the obstacle course by speeding past everyone else with her mecha robot thing as she ponders herself. Why am I doing this for Densuke? So I guess she's also catching feelings for Densuke. Wow, what an interesting plot point. Oh my god. The Eiken team and Shima team are the last two teams as the final stage is about to begin on the hot springs at the summit of an island. Densuke continues to sulk, saying, maybe I shouldn't go. But Grace spawns near him, saying everyone else already went to the summit. She's like, what's wrong? And Densuke is like, I now know what you meant by the fortune from back then. Grace says her fortune telling exists to make him see what's really important to him and tells him to believe in himself and obtain the important things by opening up the future himself, which is a nice message to have and all, but this is Eiken, so I don't care. I can't take anything in this anime seriously whatsoever. Now we see the final showdown between Shima and Densuke. The last game is a race or something. Each team, consisting of one guy and one girl, must slide all the way down the hot spring that runs through the island, and interference between the teams is allowed. Once again, Chiharu is forced to participate with Densuke, and they have to ride a banana-shaped boat. Because bananas! Bananas! I'm going bananas! Chiharu apologizes to Densuke, saying she's still afraid of heights, and Densuke smiles, saying he'll win and buy her a birthday present. But again, as she hugs him, he gets distracted by a certain physical feeling, and bro has to fucking chill, dude. Holy mother of God. Also, the water they're sliding through is brown because apparently it's a hot spring consisting of coconut chocolate, which ill? What kind of nasty-ass hot springs business are you all running over here? I don't understand this. Wouldn't the chocolate make your skin all icky and shit? Isn't this the opposite of what a hot spring is supposed to do? Why am I even questioning this? Why am I taking any of this seriously? I think I've actually lost my mind. Anyways, the race begins and we see that they once again literally defy the laws of physics and cause a miracle, as we see that somehow Densuke is now on top of Chiharu while somehow also having both of his hands on her chest. How? She started with she started the game behind him. She was behind him. What kind of diabolical black magic do you have to perform to do this kind of miraculous maneuver? What is even happening here? Shima's team also somehow landed on the same banana boat as them. Chiharu screams over and over again, "It's gonna break! It's gonna break!" But I have no idea what she means. Like, what's gonna break? Her arm? The boat? My spirit insanity? Shima yells at Densuke to let go and leave her be. But Chiharu tells him, "You can't quit halfway. You can't stop. Even if it hurts or breaks, I'll be with you. I'll hang on until the end. So please don't let go." Shima continues to yell at him to give up, saying, "People like you are destined to end up losing, Chiharu." Suddenly, he loses his graceful, cocky persona he had until now as his face scrunches up and he throws a tantrum and screams, "Grace's fortune said that though! She said that to me! She said you're gonna lose her!" And then suddenly, his hair just flies off of his head. Chiharu flies off the boat and crashes into Shima as Densuke miraculously maneuvers into the air and grabs Chiharu in order to save her. The game ends, everyone is eliminated, and there were no winners of the Ultra whatever contest this year. And also, it turns out that there was no prize money anyway. But hey, at least the Eiken Club got free tickets to the hot springs, so there's that, I guess. Somehow, at the end, Chiharu and Densuke end up in the same hot spring, even though they both read the signs and whatever. Densuke says, "So, for your birthday?" And Chiharu responds, "It's okay. Just being able to be near you is enough." As all of the other Eiken members watch them from above. It's revealed that Shima has actually been peeping on the Eiken Club this entire time through hidden cameras, which is why Kirika told him to leave the club alone if Densuke won the game. Shima was also apparently trolled by Grace, who told him a fake fortune about how people like Densuke would lose the important things in their lives or something like that, I guess. Densuke and Chiharu look out into the night skies as the ending song begins to play and Eiken comes to a close. And this is the reaction that I wrote down in my notes right after I finished the show. What the fuck is that? Like, what the actual fuck is that? What did I just watch? And why? Why does this exist? Why is this a thing? Who? Huh? What? Nasty. I mean, what else is there to say about this stupid anime? I don't even want to consider it an actual anime or a show, really. It's more just an excuse for some nasty, disgusting people to sexualize a bunch of minors for their own sick, twisted enjoyment. I absolutely cannot understand or explain to you why this show exists or is necessary in any way. I also cannot explain to you what is there to even enjoy about this show. I laughed a single time to a joke that had nothing to do with anything sexual, and the rest of the time, all I could do was just react in shock and disgust as this show treated some of the grossest and worst things to exist in the world as a casual joke. This show is garbage. It's straight up ass. And the fact that I have to censor some kind of visual for most of this video, and I also have to be very careful about how I describe most of the things that happens in this show, probably tells you everything you need to know. All in all, I'm not even gonna bother giving this show a score or even diving deep into analysis of any kind because there's just nothing of substance here. Absolutely nothing. Just a bunch of gross nonsense with absolutely no merit to it. Eiken from the bottom of my heart. I can't. I'm so done. Well, anyways, that's it for me today, though. I hope you somehow enjoyed this video, even despite all the nastiness. And if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more anime content. A huge shout out to my channel members. Your support means a lot to me. And yeah, that's it for this video. So I will see you next time in whatever I decide to make. Hopefully, it's a little less disgusting. Peace.